The ability to cross the blood-brain barrier for therapeutics to get to the right targets to ultimately deliver maximum therapeutic benefit to patients safely is still one of the key challenges. We can ultimately go from rare disease to much larger disease areas. So yes, investors, please come talk to us.
Our coverage of Meeting on the Med in Rome is kindly sponsored by Cellares. I am Federico Cittrich, reporting for Onyx Live here in Rome at the Meeting on the Med. Today we are joined by Lisa Deschamps, CEO at AviadoBio. Lisa, good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning, Federico. AviadoBio is a clinical stage gene therapy company. We are very much anchored on our mission, which is to develop and deliver and translate groundbreaking science, couple that with precision delivery to ultimately deliver life-changing medicines to people living with neurodegenerative conditions.
And so, why targeting the brain? I think it's also kind of niche area in this field, in CGT. What makes it compelling?
Well, so many things make it compelling. Great question. Of course, treating neurological conditions, it still remains one of the most complex challenges we have today in medicine. The ability to cross the blood-brain barrier for therapeutics to get to the right targets to ultimately deliver maximum therapeutic benefit to patients safely is still one of the key challenges. Our blood-brain barrier, as you know, really protects our body from foreign substances. So getting therapeutics there without, to make sure we can maximize the biodistribution is very challenging. And so we are on a journey. We are getting closer every year with more innovation. But if we can crack this challenge, we will make a huge difference, not only an individual patient or their families, but society overall.
And you're working on a range of different diseases. Could you tell us a bit more about your main programs?
Sure, yes. We have 3 active programs today. 2 out of 3 of them are in the clinic. Our lead program is a monogenic form of FTD. So FTD is frontotemporal dementia, probably most famously known by the disease that Bruce Willis has and has been very public about. These patients, again, have a monogenic form. So they have a mutation in their GRN gene, which basically depletes the amount of progranulin they have. So it's a gene supplement program. Our job is to restore progranulin levels to as close to normal as possible for these patients to ultimately slow or even prevent the neurodegenerative effect from happening. It is the most common form of dementia in people under the age of 65. So unfortunately affects people much earlier in the prime of their lives. That is in the clinic. We are just completing now the 4th cohort of patients, and we will complete dosing of these patients hopefully by early in the second half of this year. Our second program is a program in inherited retinal disorders. This is through a partnership with a company called Onyx. They are based in China. We have an option on this program at the moment. We are looking, it's an optogenetics program, so we are looking at patients who are legally blind with the ultimate goal to deliver a novel opsin to transduce the retinal ganglion cells and ultimately work to mimic photoreceptors and restore vision in these patients. And that is also in the clinic at the moment. And then our third program, it's about to go into the clinic, so we're going into toxicology studies. This is AviadoBio. This is a program using our proprietary microRNA gene silencing platform that we've been developing really since the company was formed. We've just recently coupled this with a novel capsid that we announced in the media this week, which targets the human transferrin receptor. And this program's focus will be in MAPT, so looking at tauopathies, which is a key driver in neurodegenerative conditions. And our first kind of indication that we're going for is Alzheimer's. So we're in toxicology studies now.
Lisa, when targeting the brain, what do you think are also the main challenges? I'm thinking about delivery, anything else? I mean, we talked about delivery a lot even here at MOMED.
Yeah, delivery is really the core challenge. I mean, there are so many therapeutics that have been developed that, that work, but getting them to work for a maximal therapeutic benefit without any toxicity challenges has been a problem that has existed for decades. And we're getting closer and closer in our lead program, the FTD program that we just spoke about. We overcome that challenge by doing a direct delivery approach. So it's intraparenchymal, direct into the brain, specifically to the thalamus. And the strategy there is to go direct to the target and deliver the medication. So you therefore bypass all of the blood-brain barrier, challenges. In the third program that we just spoke about, AviadoBio, there we take our gene silencing platform and we couple that with a novel capsid, which is more of a systemic delivery approach. And that, works in an entirely different way because we're looking at much larger, disease burden areas. And, we need to find ways to, again, have the same potential maximal therapeutic effect, but that are scalable in the real world, that we can ultimately go from rare disease to much larger disease areas.
Lisa, not many companies, at least that I met here at MoMed, focus on the brain. So, what is AviadoBio doing here? Were you looking to, broaden your focus on the CNS, or broadening more in general?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, we have gone from the brain and the spinal cord to now kind of the eye. So over time, we've been focused more, traditionally dementias, ALS, and then most recently, the newest member of our family is the second program we spoke around the ophthalmology area. We see this all as central nervous system, though. And so for the moment, our plan is to stay within the central nervous system and overall neurodegenerative conditions. We feel this is the highest unmet need area. Truly innovation is needed, large addressable, populations, and very, meaty commercial viability. And so we will stay focused there for the time being.
Are you looking for investors as well? What would you tell them if, they were here with you? Also, considering that it's a field where, timelines and risks are broad, let's say.
Absolutely. As a private biotech company, we are always looking for investors. We're always raising money and always focused on our preservation of cash and making sure we have a sustainable future to do the very important work that we're doing. We are actually currently just kicked off a finance raise a couple of weeks ago, and I would say our plea is that we are a very highly experienced team from research all the way to the commercialization, all experienced in CNS and gene therapy broadly. We have executed flawlessly over the last couple of years, and I would say there's very few companies that have 2 and almost 3 programs in the clinic at the moment, all in high areas of unmet need, all in large addressable patient populations, and all with very strong commercial viability. So yes, investors, please come talk to us.
And finally, Lisa, you already mentioned it actually before. You recently, 3 days ago actually, announced a deal around the next generation capsid designed to cross the blood-brain barrier, yes. I was wondering if you could tell us a bit more about it.
Sure, yes. We announced a couple of days ago, as you say, a deal with a company called Apertura. And Apertura has developed a novel capsid, basically targeting the human transferrin. And very much, this is a well-characterized receptor for over 40 years. There's also clinical validation. And so we are very excited to partner with them. This enables us, from a strategic perspective, to go from rare disease to, again, much larger scalable disease areas by coupling the platforms that we have developed in-house with the novel capsid that the Apertura team has developed. So we're very excited about the partnership. We see this as not only, the combination of a novel platform coupled with a novel capsid to ultimately deliver our third program in Alzheimer's, but really can unlock even more further therapeutic opportunity across our entire research pipeline as well.
That sounds really exciting. Lisa, thank you very much again for joining us.
Nice to see you. Thank you.